it's Holly Marie King, and I am here with a new book that we're starting today, which is the Emblem Knights, the rough draft version. The Emblem Knights has the same name for the rough and final draft, so when I finally start reading the final draft, which I am in the middle of editing right now, I will be having to make sure that it says final draft when I introduce it. But right now we have the Emblem Knights, the rough draft, because I finished Confusing Kidnap not too long ago, and Not a Dream is still going, so it'll be a while yet before that one's over. But yeah, so, premise behind this. Essentially, I got a rub-on tattoo when I was 17, and voila, a book was created. But basically, they get powers based off of an emblem that gets put on them somewhere on their body. So it's actually a pretty fun book. I like it. I mean, I wrote it, but I like it. I actually am enjoying this book a lot more than the first one, so hopefully you guys will too. But anyway, why don't we just get started? Enough of me talking. Let's get reading. Okay, The Emblem Knights, Part 1, The Gathering. Chapter 1, The Knights of Old. Don't know why that's the name of the chapter. Stop! An old man protested as guards destroyed his shop. He was grabbing a guard by the arm, trying to stop him from going inside the building. He was tossed aside as if he were a scrap of paper. This is what happens when you don't pay your taxes, old man, the guard said harshly. Joey, stay close, a girl with long brown hair said as she pulled her little brother out of the way. She pulled him close to her body. The two of them were across the street. They don't care who gets in their way. All everyone could do was watch as the guards went in and out, pulling down boards or just destroying anything of value to the old man. The guards had been this way for the longest of time. No one could stand up to them. But grandfather, Joey protested as the old man tried to stay. Wow! I can't even read this because I wrote it so badly. As the old man stood up and tried to pull the guards away from his shop. There we go. Got it. The girl struggled to keep the 8-year-old under control. There's nothing we can do. Tears started to blur her vision. She was torn between protecting her little brother or trying to help her grandfather. They'd kill us if we interfered. At last, the little boy broke loose and rushed towards his grandfather. Joey, no! The girl shrieked, grabbing for his arm, but only clutching air. She took a step forward, but stopped when a man stepped in her path. He was a young man with blue hair. Grabbed the boy firmly around the shoulders and led him back to his sister. There you are, Yuri. Keep a closer eye on him now, he told her in the kindest of voices. Yuri smiled at him in appreciation. Thank you, Daisuke, the girl said. She held her brother closely by the shoulders. If you'll excuse me, the young man turned and pulled the old man away from the building. It will do your grandchildren no good if you are rotting in a dungeon, he informed the man. Ooh. Excuse me. I don't find this boring, I promise. But it does us no good if the shop is burned down either, the old man yelled. He had a flare in him. Gave him the strength of a 20-year-old. Now, this place is good when it comes to the people. You'll be fine, he said, calmly to the old man, turning away and walking towards the guards. May I get some things from the house? Who do you think you are? One of the guards shouted. Daisuke pulled out money from his sleeve. May I go in for this much? He asked a second time, pressing it into the guard's hand. The guard's hand. You press the coin into the guard? How would you do that? That would be painful. Fine, but hurry up, or we'll burn this place down with you in it, the second guard said, impatiently, greedily grabbing the money from Daisuke's hands. The other 3 guards argued over who got what with the one who had the money. Daisuke came out as they finished their arguing. He had a big bag on his back, full of items. Come with me, he murmured to the old man and his 2 grandchildren. The 3 followed him without question, but Yuri stopped for a moment longer to see the last of their parents' treasures be burned down with the building. Daisuke grabbed her by her shoulders and pulled her away. Come on, there's nothing left for you there. I wish those stupid guards could taught a lesson," Joey said with a little growl in his voice. Daisuke still led Yuri by the shoulders, and the old man carried the sack. "Back before you were born, there were knights that helped the poor and suffering, but they disappeared a few years ago," the old man said. Daisuke's hands gripped Yuri's shoulders tighter at the mention of the knights. They shuffled along on the dirt road. "Really?" Joey asked excitedly. "What were they like? When did they become knights?" Yuri asked, only half interested. "Well, Yuri, they were all taken from our own village when they were about your brother's age." "Why do you think that you're the only two children in this village?" the old man answered. "Because we're the only ones with nowhere to go," Yuri answered with a shrug. "What were they like?" Joey asked again, jumping up and down. Young boys from the ages of 3 years of age to 10 years of age were taken from the village. They were to be trained extensively for 4 years, and then sent off for battle. Each one were given an emblem on a certain part of their body, and each one had a different color to show where they belonged. The old man paused for breath. "I believe 28 boys were taken in, and now only 6 live to this day. Just no one knows where they are. Who they are." "Great story, Grandpa, but I find it hard to believe that there were knights who ever cared about us." Yuri looked up at Daisuke. "I can walk on my own now." "Oh, here, I'll take that for you." Daisuke took the sack from the old man. "Would someone please tell me what they were like?" Joey demanded. "All right," Yuri exclaimed. "I don't know about the final 6 knights, but the ones who had this so-called emblem on them were crude and only cared about drinking, raping, and making Mom and Dad's lives a living hell." The old man looked over at Yuri. "Didn't you just say you found it hard to believe that story?" "No, I said I found it hard to believe that there were knights that cared about us," Yuri answered in frustration. "Are we there yet?" she asked Daisuke, wanting to be out of the conversation. "Yes," Daisuke said, stopping at the top of a hill. Down below stood a cottage big enough to house 10 people inside. Field after field surrounded the house, and nearby a practice rink stood ready for use. "Welcome home," he said happily. Yeah, that definitely is a lot different. Alright, that is everything for now. But yeah. So hopefully I will see you guys next time. Bye!